What up? What up? Hello, everybody. I think I'm going to make my own countdown thing. I'm just using like the generic one that's on this site on StreamYards, but I think I might make my own Venom one with like a 30-second countdown. Probably I might even make it longer. I might make like a minute or two countdown. That way I can do any last preparations, before the show actually starts up. But hello, everyone. If you're here and you can see me and hear me, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you can see and hear me. I figured tonight, 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, I was on the set of Venom 2, where I got to see Tom and meet Jake Tamori, his stunt double, who is awesome. I've actually been looking at his name in other movie credits, and I've been looking for him in other movies as well. And actually, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, anytime I watch a movie and I can spot him, I try to be like, "Oh, I think that's him in this scene." And I think one time I was wrong. Someone's like, "That's not him." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Sometimes still not good with faces. But I figured it's the 1 year anniversary of going to the set of Venom 2. And that's a good enough reason for me to do a live Venom vlog live. And since we haven't done one in like a week or so, I figured we could, and we'll just hang out and talk about Venom stuff. We'll talk about, anything. Anything's on the table tonight as far as Venom goes. So if you have any comments or any thoughts or any rumors you want to discuss, like, because I know I don't normally cover a lot of that stuff, but tonight I'm just like, I'm in a lot of pain. Actually, my shoulder is really killing me. But I was like, yeah, we should still hang out and do something. So I don't really have anything planned. But if hold on, I got some comments. Let's see what we got here. But yeah, I will definitely. I'll definitely, I didn't have anything planned tonight, so hopefully just something natural will come from our conversation. What's happening? It says, love your work, man. It's awesome how you were on the set. Can't wait for the movie. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. I was very lucky to get wind of where they were going to be and send out an email and get I didn't get a response from that email, but I got something else going like, yeah, maybe you should come up and check it out from somebody else. Because I emailed, well, I don't want to say who I emailed, but I tried to I kind of just yelled out into the void to see if someone would answer. No one did through that email that I sent, but someone else did from another source, was like, hey, are you looking for where we're going to be? And I'm like, well, yeah. And like, well, here's some information where the shooting's going to happen. And I was like, that's cool. And so I just went and spent the whole day up there, which was really cool. But the person I did send an email to, they did get it, and they actually brought it up when I saw them in person. They were like, hey, we got the email and thank you very much. And they, Tom and Jake signed my helmet, not this helmet. Obviously this is not a helmet. I'm actually just rocking this beanie. I bought this, God, in 2001 or 2002 at Hot Topic. That's how long I've had this thing. So it's funny. My mom was like, she goes, of course you have a Venom show that's gone 600 episodes. She's like, you've always liked that character. And I go, have I? Like, it's so frustrating sometimes with the memory thing. It's so frustrating. But I appreciate what you said there. I try to do my best with what I make here on this channel. I know I frustrate people sometimes. I know they want me to be more, talk more about like rumors and things like that, or, and get hype up on possible trailers and leaks and stuff, but I just don't like to do things that way. And so I appreciate the people that do hang out with us and talk to us, who are okay with me not just doing what everyone else on YouTube does. So I appreciate that you respect that I'm trying to have some level of standards, even if you don't agree with them. It means a lot. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the kind words. Hey, I finally got to catch one of these live again. Yes, Swordsman. I figured this was impromptu. I was like, I realized, I thought it was yesterday, but then I looked and I was like, no, it wasn't yesterday, because luckily you can check like Instagram memories and stuff. So I was like, okay, it wasn't yesterday, but a year ago I was on the set. So it's a year ago today, though, or I think so. Yeah, a year ago today, I believe, was when I was on the set. That's when the posters, the pictures I posted on Instagram were. So what up, Swordsman? Good to see you, dude. Linus, I am so sorry. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I don't speak a lot of languages, unfortunately. I'm very stupid when it comes to stuff. So I apologize. What's up, Mark Anthony? How you going? How's it going, man? Did you see anyone in motion capture suits? I can't. No, I don't think so. No. We saw a couple things that were like made of foam, and looks like they could be like something that the material, like it was a gray color. It looked like it was shaped like a motorcycle. and it looked like it was broken in half. So I don't know if the symbiote breaks the a motor like Eddie's motorcycle in half, or if Carnage does, or if someone else does. I don't know. I didn't really see anyone in that. Wait, no. Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, we did see someone, and I think they were wearing like a head. Like it was like a guy, a human head, and like a gray suit, but they were wearing like a thing that went around their head, and then there was like a symbiote head above them. And I don't think it was Carnage. I think it was a Venom head. So that's why I'm thinking like something happens in a movie where Eddie and the suit fight maybe and have like a breakup or something. I don't know. I was like piecing it together. You can't really tell because they shot like three things in this alley, but they're all from different parts of the movie and they don't really directly connect to each other. So you kind of don't really know what's going on. But yeah, there was a guy there in a motion capture suit. Swordsman says, hello, Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony says there'll never be Venom 2. I wouldn't be surprised to see Marvel keep on portraying him improperly. There'll never be a Venom 2. Well, yeah, eventually there will be. Hopefully, it's called Let There Be Carnage, I guess technically, but yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, I thought Tom did a really good job playing Eddie Brock. I thought he handled it with a level of I guess he really committed to the role is I guess the best way to phrase it because he did. Like I think most actors, you even saw with the guy who played him in Spider-Man 3, he did an okay job, but like there wasn't a commitment there. He was like, okay, I just got to like play like an evil Peter Parker, okay, and he kind of just did that, and there was like there was no intense commitment to it. I'm not saying he didn't work hard. Topher Grace didn't work hard to play the part, but it was just like a different part, you know. And this, like, you got to really just be with Eddie, and you got to see that he's kind of a screw up. He's got a good life when the movie starts. He's got a good job, he's with somebody. They have a good relationship, but then he like goes behind her back to like further his career, and it ends up ruining both of their careers and his life. And the way Tom portrayed that, and then also the way Tom portrayed the suit bonding with him and just being very erratic and intense, like I don't think you would have got that level of commitment from other actors. And so I don't know. I think he did a really good job. In fact, my favorite part of that movie, even though I'm critical of the movie, my favorite part was Tom and his performance and his commitment to the character. So I don't know. I may disagree, but I mean, obviously everyone's allowed to have their opinion here. F901, what's up, dude? How's it going? RIP Eddie's bike. I think that's what it was. What's up, Brendan? How's it going, dude? I think that's what I'm pretty sure it was his bike that gets broken in half. Actually, not even just broken in half, like pulled apart, because it was like Eddie is screaming down, going, no, no, no. And then it's like bike parts are flying up at his window. And then all of a sudden there's like this big foam board that looks like it's shaped like a motorcycle, and it was broken in half. And there was like crew members picking it up and carrying it away at the end of the night. So I think that's pretty much what happened in one of the scenes. But I was there all day. Like I got there around noon. Like I drove up from, no, maybe it was a little later than that. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 p.m. I drove up from Los Angeles that morning. So I didn't have to work that day, but it was 18 days beyond my surgery. I had surgery, I think on February 1st last year, or maybe the 2nd. So it was like 17 or 18 days past my surgery, and I really shouldn't even have gone back to work so soon, let alone take a 8-hour drive up to San Francisco on my car, which, barely survived the trip. And when I got back, I had to spend like $600 to fix the car, and then drive it across the country, where it did have trouble on the road when I was driving across the country, and I had to pull into a place and get it fixed while I was on the road. So like, my poor car, and now it's here in Florida and it's surviving. My car's name is Hal Jordan, because it's a Green Lantern. I guess I could have called it John Stewart too, but I just call it Hal because that's also like a reference to Space Odyssey. So anyway, I don't know. I had a fun time on that set, but I was there for most of the day, and then I think Orion and then Panda like showed up. Orion from the Venomaniacs podcast, and then Panda, who was a guy I just met online, and he was like, hey, where are they filming? And I was like, oh, they're filming this area. He goes, oh my God, I live right down the street. And so me and him like hit it off, and he came down and met us, and he's like a gamer. He does a lot of gaming online, and he's really awesome. So like, it was cool to have friends at the end of the night to hang out with. And this was right around COVID. Like COVID started, people were starting to freak out about it. This was early, like I said, mid-February. This was this day last year. So they didn't start enforcing any rules or masks. Like they weren't that far yet. But as the Venom movie was filming, every day there was like new rules popping up all over California of what could and couldn't happen. Those rules eventually affected the Matrix 4, which was also filming in another part of San Francisco while Venom was on one side. They were like, half a city over filming stuff on the other side of town where people were jumping off buildings and stuff and on wires and everything. And so but there was like no scare of COVID on that level yet. Then when they said, okay, we got to mandate curfews and we got to have masks and all that, at that point, the Venom movie was wrapped. Like they had announced that they were wrapped from San Francisco. So, so I don't know if they then went on somewhere else to shoot a couple things on like sound stages somewhere, or if that was the official final wrap. I think they said it was the final wrap. And some people were saying, oh, they're probably going to do reshoots and all this other stuff. It's possible now. I don't think there was a plan to do reshoots before because the movie was supposed to come out in October and they finished filming like the last week of February. So I don't know if I think they squeezed in some pickup shots before they left San Francisco. That's at least what I thought I heard people saying around the set was that they squeezed it. They were going to plan to squeeze in a few pickup shots if they could. So I think that was the plan. So I don't know if they end up doing that, but now that a whole year has passed and the movie's still not out, Andy Serkis and all the producers, everyone has now got to sit with the movie. And sometimes when you get hindsight in 2020 like that, you might start thinking there are things you could do differently or improve on when you have that much time. So maybe there's a chance that they will do a couple pickup shots, or maybe they already did on the low key. We don't know. I know Tom just announced a new movie today that he's doing with the guy who directed The Raid. I believe it was the director of The Raid. I can't remember. But they're making a movie together called Havoc for Netflix. So Tom is already working on other projects and getting things going and stuff. But I really hope that Venom still comes out in June. I know we're all like just on the edge of our seat waiting. I was pretty sure we were going to get an announcement in January of it being delayed, but it turned out to be Morbius that got delayed. And it got pushed back to September or something. And then James Bond was like, no, we're going to move our movie there. So then Sony was like, oh God, we can't compete with James Bond. So then they moved Morbius to January of next year, which I think might actually be bad for that movie now, because Jared Leto was trending as Joker the other day, like as the Snyder Cut. I think they should move Morbius up and try to get it out closer to now if it's done. But who knows? Maybe the movie's not done. Maybe they need more time with it. I don't know I don't know anything about what's going on with Morbius, but Venom, I try to find information out to bring to you guys if I'm, able to, but yeah, I'm hoping, man, I hope it still releases in June. Hello. What's up? Howdy from Texas. Oh my God, you're alive. Hi there from Texas, Psylord. Geez, I hope you're okay. Please tell me you're okay. I mean, I guess you have internet and power if you're here in the chat, so that's a good sign. Man, I've been out of the loop on a lot of stuff these past few days, and I was catching up on stuff in Texas yesterday and was blown away by people's pictures. I think even Donnie Cates posted a picture because he lives, I think, in Austin somewhere, and it's just like a snow everywhere, and it was like people lost power, and I'm just like, God dang, like I had no idea it was that bad. So I hope you're doing okay. Damn, it's really been a year. The hype for this movie was real back then. We really were. Like, I feel so bad because I know, maybe on some level, there's like an expectation of me to be like, hey, you got to keep that hype alive. You got to keep it going. But if there's no news, what can I do? Like I can't be like an ambassador or help out in any way like with that. Like I can keep making Venom videos because we can talk about the comics or toys or video games or whatever, like we've been doing. But I mean, like I can't do anything if I don't get any information or if there's no news to put out there. So it has hit this channel pretty bad. That's why I think some of you have noticed that lately I've been doing other things on here, and some people don't like that. I see that I get downvotes on those videos because I think people just want me to pump out Venom stuff all the time, and I was willing to, but every time the movie when it got pushed back, and then now we're in this limbo. It's hard. I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like scrounging through IMDb. I'm looking around online. I'm trying to do what I can. And I just can't find stuff to share with you guys. And it's been really tough. So I hate that there is a real descent of the hype. I think the smartest thing Sony can do is just at some point, hopefully this month with the few days we have left, or next month, just make an announcement. Like either say it's being delayed, or don't. Like, just pick right now what you're going to do. Like, I think that's just the best. That's what people want. And if you are going to delay it and say, hey, sorry guys, like have Andy Serkis or Tom Hardy shoot like a little 30-second intro and be like, hey everyone, I know you've been waiting patiently for Venom. I'm so sorry we had to make you wait for all this. We do have to make you wait a little bit longer, and even come up with a reason. Be like, oh, we need a little bit more time with visual effects, or we want to really make this movie pop and look good, or we want to wait a little bit for COVID reasons, whatever it is, for your safety. So we're going to push it back like 2 months or 1 month or whatever, or try to push it back the least amount as possible, but hey, since we are pushing it back, we do want to give you a taste of the movie. So here's like a full trailer, like a full 1.5, 2-minute trailer to get you going, and then maybe do an interview with, like Deadline or Variety or someone, and give like an official image of Carnage, or like a sneak peek at, a character that we didn't know was in the movie, show Shriek or something. Like, do something, like put some kind of news out there. I think will be a smart, it's both a smart move and a risk. So, and I understand they don't want to take risks, but to me, I feel like that the fandom needs something, a little bit. So they just need some kind of announcement. So if anyone at Sony is listening, like just make some kind of even if it's a delay, like just make the announcement at some point, so that way we get something. Like, so we just know, because I think all of us are just stuck in this limbo. And like me, I'll keep making episodes. We got King in Black. We got a lot of stuff I got to catch up on that I've already started working on videos for. So we'll have stuff to talk about, but it's just, I know you guys come here for Venom movie news. I mean, I've been covering the Resident Evil movie on my other channel, and I do the same thing as we did with Venom Vlog. I found actors that before they were announced officially for the movie, like I went on IMDb, I went online looking for other stuff, and saw the cast members posting things. They're doing ADR for it right now, so that's going to be one of my next videos coming up. There's a song being made for the Resident Evil movie. I don't know if it's official yet or not, like the song, if it's going to officially be on the soundtrack or where it's going to be, but I'm doing a lot of work over there, and that movie, both filmed, wrapped, is in post-production, and is going to release in September, and that's also a Sony movie, and I've had nonstop news for that movie for the past like 4 months, 3-4 months. So I'm glad I've been able to follow something, but I know not a lot of you are Resident Evil fans, so I threw it on my other channel. But if you just like behind-the-scenes stuff on movies, definitely check those episodes out. I think you'll really like the stuff I've been digging into for the new Resident Evil movie. Why do I feel like they might pull Godzilla and Kong and release a trailer only a couple months before the movie release if it stays of its June release date? I mean, possibly. I mean, that seems to be the thing now. It's like they just what trailer did we get the other day? Mortal Kombat, and that comes out in 2 months. And this was our first trailer we got. So I think that's the new standard, is to not promote things too far in advance, to cut down on marketing costs, and that makes sense. And then just putting the trailers online, not spending $5.5 million at the Super Bowl like everyone thought. Like it's a dumb business move to do that. But no, Seek, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, all right, that's fine. I mean, sometimes I don't, but I try to use common sense, and I try to think like a business person as often as I can, because movies are a business. So I try to apply that level of thinking to it. And so far, it hasn't really led me that astray from a lot of things. So I'm not saying always trust me, but I do my best to give an educated guess, if I'm going to give a guess at all. Swordsman 100 says, I wonder if the MCU connections that were in Morbius are being moved to Venom 2, considering Morbius is slated to be after. See, I know, because I know that there are Spider-Man connections in Morbius. Obviously, we know that from the first trailer. We saw Michael Keaton in it. Obviously, they're going to be building up a Sinister Six type thing, probably. I don't know what order you're supposed to see these movies in. If Morbius demands that it needs to be seen before Venom for whatever reason, then they'll probably push Venom back. But I have a feeling Venom is just the more important movie to the studio out of the two, and they want that one out as soon as possible, because that's the franchise they've been building. If Morbius doesn't do well, they're just like, we're only out one Morbius movie, and we can still have Leto in a Sinister Six movie if we want, so we can still have him in a future movie if he wants to do it and if Sony wants to do it. But he seems really happy that he's playing Joker again, and he's definitely riding the Joker hype train right now, and I don't blame him, because Morbius just seems like it's being dismissed. And it's being released in January. January is when Resident Evil movies come out, like the old crappy ones, not the new one, which comes out in September, which is, well, I think one of the previous Resident Evils might have come out in like a summertime or September or something like that. But the last two came out like in January, and that's where movies go to die. So that shows not a lot of that's not a lot of faith from the studio when they release your movie in January. If you ever seen Red Letter Media, they do a great segment every once in a while called "Fuck You, It's January," and they just talk about all the shitty movies that come out in January. It's pretty funny. Hello from Mexico. Hello, Superior. How are you? Riddle John, you're famous now. I saw your story. You saw my story. I'm not famous. Oh, you saw my story on Instagram. Yes. Jake Tamori Collective, who is someone who follows me on Instagram, they posted on their stories me meeting Jake a year ago. And Jake was super nice. Actually, Jake was like, oh my God, it's the Venom vlog. Like he made me feel like a rock star. I don't know if he like really knows who I am or too much about me, but he made me feel like a superstar. Both him and Tom did. Tom was like, what do you want to do? He's like, because I was like, hey, can I have an intro for the show? And he's like, I can't do it. I was able to do it last time because the movie was already filmed and it was out. You know, like we were at a screening when we saw Tom with the first Venom movie. Like he was sitting in the theater behind us when we were watching it. And then he talked and hung out with us afterwards and signed autographs. So he was cool with doing it then, but he's like, hey, Sony won't let me do it while the movie's filming. He's like, so I hope that's okay. And I'm like, dude, that's cool. If that's the rule, man. He goes, but I'll do anything else. He's like, what do you want? I'll sign anything you want. I'll sign everything. Like, he's like, I'll sign you, your hat. Like, you know, if you want to go out for a drink, like, you know, he was super nice. And like I said, Jake also like made me feel like he was like, Venom vlog. Oh my God, bro. He was like, he was the nicest. They were both so awesome. Like they made me feel like I was somebody. Like, I know that was like I said, that was a really good feeling. Cause at that time I was like at a really low spot, self-esteem wise, like work. Like I was working at Lego and they were treating us like shit at Lego, our higher ups. And they just like, they were fighting us on every decision. It was awful. Like we had a boss that was like stealing and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And they had to be let go. And it was a horrible time at that store. And it caused a lot of friction because that boss had friends that worked at the store. So then people like didn't trust each other. And it was like, there was drama everywhere. And it was a nightmare. And it was really bringing me down because I was trying to find myself as a leader at that company at that time. And I couldn't do it. Like, I was like, I feel defeated, and the higher ups weren't making us feel any better about it. And they were just making us feel like garbage. And then I went right into my surgery, and I come out of my surgery and I realized I have to move from California, which I loved living there. I miss it so much. And it's one of the only places I've ever lived where I feel like home, because post aneurysm, I was in South Carolina and I'm like, I don't know this place, but I still had memories of California. And the second I stepped back into California, I remember this weight being lifted, like, oh my God, I'm home, because it was the only memories I kind of had, like knowledge of it, you know? And so I went and saw my old friends and my old roommates. And so like leaving was like a big deal. It was like a really hard decision I had to make. And so they made me just forget about all that for one whole night. It was awesome. Actually, for quite some time, because I remember like a month later, I actually had to move, and I go, oh crap, I was finally getting out of the days that I was on the set of this movie. I only want to see the design of Carnage. Yeah, I know, we all do, right? Like, honestly, I think if Sony at least gave us that, we probably, a lot of people would be like, okay, that's something. But obviously they want to release, your first impressions are everything, so they want to make sure they get it right. So I'd rather them wait for that and make sure they get it right. But by now they've got to have a decent trailer coming soon. If not, you know, I don't know. Like, I know, because I see a lot of people online guessing, going, we'll probably get the trailer in February or March. It's like, but that's such a guess. You're guessing. You don't have a source. You don't have anything that's telling you that. You're just guessing. And I can do that too, because that's a pretty good guess. Hey, sometime between now and the end of April, we might get a trailer. No shit. The movie's supposed to come out in June. So it's like, of course we probably will. But I'm saying, even if they announce a delay again and they push it back a couple months, I hope they still give us a trailer. A 30-second teaser. Yeah, at this point, I know we'll take anything, because I can make like 10 videos on that. I'll dissect it. We'll go through each frame by frame. I can make a ton of videos on 30-second teaser. Sony should put out a trailer for the ad revenue alone. Monster Hunter didn't do well. Yeah, and that's the thing, is Monster Hunter is not really a Sony, like, Sony probably, I don't know how the finances fully work, so this is me kind of talking out of my ass, but just kind of making a guess. Sony, they distributed that movie, but Constantin Films like produced it and made it with, like, I'm sure help and financing from investors and stuff. But also, was it Screen Gems? It might have been Screen Gems. Like, there was a company that also invested in the movie. So I don't know how much money Sony lost on that. I mean, I'm sure they lost something, but I don't think it was like the end of the world for Sony. And same with Resident Evil. It's made by the same kind of companies. Thankfully, different director and writer, though, than Paul W.S. Anderson. But the new Resident Evil, I have higher hopes for. Although I am a little worried that it's going to suffer from Flashpoint syndrome and just have too much stuff in it. But we'll see. You know, I'm anxiously waiting for that. But they're doing ADR on Resident Evil right now, so they're still planning for a September release. And Monster Hunter still came out in December, so I have a feeling nothing's going to move the Resident Evil movie. It'll come out regardless. Because, like I said, I don't think Sony would lose too much on that movie, because I don't think it costs that much to make it. And if they're not spending, so normally if you spend like $75 million on a movie, you'll typically spend $75 million to market the movie too, roughly. They haven't been doing that. They've been doing like just trailer on YouTube, just put a trailer on YouTube, do an interview with this one website, you know, the very least amount. They're not flying their cast around to different cities to do premieres or interviews or anything like that. It's all virtual now. So they're saving a shit ton of money on marketing right now. So yeah, don't worry. Brendan says, we don't expect you to keep the hype up for us. At least you don't report fake stuff that disappoints people. You're straightforward, which is a lot better, makes the show more reliable. Well, that's very nice of you to say. That's my goal, is like I could report on every fake trailer that's coming out, or even if I just made a video going, because I've done that before in the early days of this show when I was still trying to find out what kind of show I wanted to make. But now I try not to do that anymore. So it's like, I understand going like, I can make a video going, could this be real? Could it not be? I don't know. Why don't you guys tell me? And it's like, but I feel like, why report on it when I know it's fake? Like I know it's fake. When I see it, I'll go like, okay, I have a feeling, but I can check too. And if I check and it's like definitely fake, then I go, okay, well, I'm not going to report on it then. So I try not to. Could I ever be wrong? Absolutely, sure. But I can, you can tell when things are fake. And even if I really second guess myself, I can try to find out if it's fake or not. But that's the extent of my ability. It's like, that's it. So I try not to just report on everything that comes out, because that will keep content going for me, but it won't be reliable stuff. And I don't want to do that. And I'm not here to bring you guys up and bring you down. Like I'm not like that. That would be trolling you. If I knew it was fake and I still reported it, that's not good. That's not a good journalist. And I'm trying to be a journalist. I would like, I know I'm just like a fanboy to most people, but I would like to be considered, like, I want people to see that I have standards, and that I do withhold information when it's presented to me and given to me, which has been done on the show where I've had to bite my tongue about stuff. And I want them to see that, because I want them to trust me, because I'm not here to spill anyone's secrets. And I'm not here to lie to you guys as fans. I'm just trying to be resourceful. I want to be a resource for you. So if you see something leak online and you're like, well, I better go see if, because some of you do, you write me these messages and go, I saw the leaked trailer, the fake trailer, and I immediately went to your page. And when I didn't see you posting about it, that's how I knew it was fake. And I was like, wow, that means a lot to me that people, support me like that. Like, that's fair, and think highly of me like that. That's very nice. What's up? Nova, what's up? How are you? Nova blows up my Instagram. Nova, those pictures, are you a Stan account for somebody, or are all those pictures of you? Because you have a lot of great pictures. So I was just curious. Primetime Polton, what's up? Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good day. I am doing great. I don't know if links allow in my chat, but if you want to drop a link to your GoFundMe, feel free to. Guys, Primetime Polton was on the show recently. If you haven't checked it out, please go back and watch episode 106, I think, of the Seek and Destroy show, which was just last week. I had Mark on, and I had his artist on, Clint, and we talked about his new book, Sea Dog, and codename Killstrike. Sorry, I'm blanking. Dang it, I had it right here next to me. Remind me. It's been a long day. Remind me the title again. I'm so sorry. God, that's so unprofessional. But please check out their book. I remember Sea Dog because Mark and his son created it, and it's a codename Killstrike. Dang it, I'm blanking. Help me out, Mark. And drop a link so people can check it out. Afternoon, what's up, Swindle Productions? What is up? Sea Dog and Kill Switch. It is Kill Switch. Okay, good. It is Kill Switch. It's not Kill Strike. It's Kill Switch. Hello, hello, welcome, Swordsman. Thanks for saying hi to everybody too. That's very nice of you. I just want Sony to at least acknowledge the movie exists. At this point, I know. Like, I think that's what I'm sure the people who worked really hard on that movie would like that too. Like, it does. It feels like Sony's just like out of sight, out of mind. Like, they're like, okay, it's announced for June right now, but we'll talk about it whenever. Like, I'm telling you, I've heard more about Resident Evil these past 4 months than Venom. And Resident Evil, they filmed it during COVID. They wrapped filming. They filmed for like 48 days or something. They wrapped filming. They're in post production now. They're doing ADR already for certain characters. Like, they're moving that movie along. Like the first Venom movie, how it went really quickly. Like, they're moving that movie along, and I'm kind of excited for it. But it's been fun following the production of that movie. It's been really fun. So, but that also Sony's not acknowledging. It's the actors and the people working on it that are. So, but I guess their contracts or something, they might have a different thing with Sony because it's through Screen Gems and Constantin Films. Because Mila Jovovich was very vocal on her social media about Monster Hunter and stuff, and so was the cast. So I think it's a little different with them. Whereas Sony is like, no, Venom and Morbius are ours. It feels like they put everyone into a box and they're like, don't talk about stuff. It seems like that way because no one really is. Like the other day, Tom posted a picture of a motorcycle helmet. And it said, let there be, it had the reorg kind of logo on it, or one of the Lucky Seven or one of those logos on it. And it said, he put hashtag let there be carnage. But it's like, okay, what does that mean? If you went to the helmet's website and their Instagram page, they have a bunch of helmets that are called like the Toxin helmet or, the Venom helmet. They're not really, not those names in particular, but they look like Venom designs or Toxin designs. And they're cool looking motorcycle helmets for sure. But it's like, I mean, yeah. So it's like, I can tell that people want to talk about this movie that have worked on a movie, but they just haven't been able to for whatever reason. So yeah, I would like Sony to acknowledge it too. Sony made all the money back from Monster Hunter with Spider-Man Miles Morales. No, their video game, it's a different division. So their video game division is what keeps Sony going. Like they're selling PlayStations and video games and having exclusive video games. That's what keeps that company going. Their movie division has been mostly hit or miss over the past few years or decade or so. So, yeah, Sea Dog and codename Killswitch. So if you're able to post a link, feel free. It's just hard for people to see a non-clickbait person with journalistic integrity. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I know I don't look like a journalist. I literally wear pajamas. I'm wearing like a Venom shirt and a Venom hat. Like I'm overkill. It's like me going to a concert and wearing like the band shirt and hat. It's like I'm that kind of loser, I guess, to some people. And I do. I mean, there have been people that said they don't like me. Like I had one guy reach out to me who wanted me to take down a video I made on him because he thought I was too positive about him. And I said, I got some information wrong, which I'm like, hey, if I got stuff wrong, I'll take it down for that reason enough. But he was just like a real jerk about it. And then he kind of belittled me on the phone and was like, he's like, no one at Sony's ever going to give you the time of day. Don't even bother. Like, and I was like, well, I emailed you like 6 months ago. I wanted to interview you for my show. And he's like, yeah, I don't have time for people like you and stuff. And he's just like a real dickbag. And I was like, dang, dude, like, what am I doing wrong? Like I was trying to do research on your job and I just wanted to talk about it and shine some light on what you might do. Okay, I got some stuff wrong because I emailed you first and I waited like a month and you never got back to me. So I was like, all right, I got to just go with the information I could find because it was not an easy job to like do research on. So I went to like his like website and this other site and I just kind of read stuff from there. But he was like, oh, you got this wrong, you got this wrong. I'm like, but some of that I read. Like, so I don't know. I guess I don't know what I do wrong. But it's like I try like I don't know I feel like that you could do way worse than me, Sony. Like you definitely could do way worse than me. But I did apologize to the guy. I'm like, I'm not here to like get stuff wrong. I guess I didn't think the stuff I got wrong from my perspective didn't seem like a reason to take down the video. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to put stuff up that's wrong. So. But that's okay because we replaced that episode with episode -1, where we talked about the -1 issue of Venom. So we still have 600 episodes, so it's okay. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage? Maybe, maybe. Imagine being the neighbors next to the filming set of Resident Evil movie. I feel like they would be terrified to the max seeing a crap ton of zombies outside. There was actually a couple people because I was following it just like I did Venom vlog, just like I do on the Venom vlog, but like I do for the Venom movie. I would look up people who were like if they're like, oh, I filmed this outside my window, I'll go to their page and just for like a week, I'll stalk them to see if they say anything else about the filming of the movie. And that's what I was doing for the Res Evil stuff. So yeah, there were people going like, yeah, I freaked out. Like it was really cold because they filmed it in November and December in Canada, like like up there in Canada, and it was like really cold. And they were saying like there was fires and trucks exploding and guns going off and zombies like in hordes, running down the street and stuff, and screaming and moaning and gnashing at the RPD gates and shaking the gates and all that stuff. And I'm just like, God, that must have been just just an experience in itself for sure. Like that had to be crazy. There could be a gag order to protect them from spilling leaks for future movies or tie-ins. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Venom is going to have a lot of world building in it for things that Sony wants to do. So I hope it's not a detriment to the movie. Like Iron Man 2, I like some of Iron Man 2, but it definitely had a lot of world building plots in it, and it didn't really like focus too much on the story it was trying to tell. They wanted to like make sure they were setting up for Avengers and stuff. So I hope Venom 2 doesn't suffer from that, where they're trying to do too much. I hope they really do give Carnage the time of day and focus that he needs, and also further the relationship with Eddie and the symbiote. Hopefully write Anne as a little bit of a better character, because I really love Michelle Williams, and I kind of was like, if she wasn't playing this part, I would completely hate this character. But because I like her so much and I have like the biggest crush on her, I was like, I can't, like, I gotta, I like the character because she's playing her, but I want to see more from Anne. So yeah, so hopefully the movie will deliver that more so than the setting up stuff. You didn't do anything wrong. Some people just suck. I mean, that's nice of you both to say. I mean, I don't know. No, I got information wrong. So I'm not like trying to play a victim on that part, like, or anything like that. Like, I'm just saying like, hey, if someone contacted me and said, hey man, saw your video, you got some stuff wrong. But you know what? I got some time coming up in like a month or two. Maybe I could come on and help educate your audience on what my job really is, and I can't say specifics for this project, but I can just tell you in general. And that's what I did. I wrote him a nice email and I was like, hey, I came across you. I saw your career. You seem like a really awesome guy, like worked from the ground up and made a name for yourself. And I was like, would you mind? Like, I don't want to know anything about Venom, but I would just like to know what you do, like what a consultant does in general, or what your job like. I was really nice, and I got no response from the email. And I can understand maybe I went right to a spam or whatever. But he admitted, he's like, oh, I got your email. Yeah, he goes, but I'm not going to give someone like you the time of day. And I was like, what like, really, man? Like, I get it. There's like a negative connotation to YouTubers, but like, I'm not here to like get anyone. Like, I've had guests on the show that I could have been a jerk and try to get spoilers out of them, but I don't do that. I respect the guests that take the time out of their day to come talk to us. And I hope that we just learn things. So yeah, it was an interesting job. And I'm like, I don't know what that job is. It seems cool. Like maybe he can shine a light. And I wanted to surprise you guys with a guest on the show, but apparently I'm like too beneath him. So yeah, I would say that guy just kind of sucks, because I don't think what I did was wrong. And I feel like there was a better way to come at me other than like threatening me, which that's what he did at first. He threatened me with like, without coming out and saying it. But I know wordings of emails. I word emails for my old boss and other people all the time. And I know how it is to make a veiled threat, legal threat in an email. And that's what was happening. And I was like, really, dude? Like, I don't know. I just didn't, I was like, and then on a phone call, I was like, yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah, I get it. Like, I got some stuff wrong. I'm sorry. And then he just kept putting me down. He was like, yeah, well, Sony's not going to give you the time of the day, and you're not going to get this, and you're going to get that. And I was like, man. And then like 2 months later, I had Tom Hardy do an intro for the show, and I got to meet him. So I'm like, you know what? Screw that guy. Like, I got someone way cooler than him on the show. I got the biggest. I got Venom himself, and I got the director of the movie, Ruben Fleischer, and we had cast members. I reached out to cast members, and they were nice enough to do intros. And so I was like, screw that guy. What does he know? Honestly, movie Anne is an improvement on the comic Anne. Well, that's true. I'm not arguing that, but I was just like, I would like to see more with Anne in the next movie. Is Kraven the Hunter happening though? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, they've been talking about it for a while. Yeah, I'm sure that's a plan. I saw everyone was like freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Keanu Reeves is going to play Kraven. I put out this one little tweet. Sometimes big actors get offered roles so that smaller actors see that they might lose the role and they'll take it for less money. Sometimes there's those mind games going on with Hollywood. And so I was like, but also when Illuminati or whoever it was, they were like, Sony put out they put out an offer to Keanu Reeves for Craven. It's like, that's not news. They put out offers all the time to people, and then they still audition people too. So like, you're like, that's not news, but like they were making out to news. And then the very next day, some representative from Keanu Reeves's like, people, they were like, yeah, he turned that down like months ago. And it's like, see, fucking Illuminati, like, yeah. Keanu Reeves is pure clickbait. There was no news. They made. I mean, here's the thing: was he offered that? Yeah, because his representation came out the next day and said, yeah, he was offered that months ago, and he denied it, or he said he turned the role down. And it's like, of course, but offers go out all the time to people. It's like, so saying, oh, someone was offered a role, it's like, so what? It's just clickbait. I still remember being massively terrified of Spider-Man 3 Venom. The memories, like, goddamn, he was childhood trauma for me. Yeah, that movie is not a lot of people's favorites. We did do a review of the editor's cut of that movie, like back in the first season of the show. I didn't even know an editor's cut existed of that movie. And someone was like, you got to do an editor's cut review. And I'm like, oh, what? So we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was actually really fun. The guy said Sony won't give you the time of day, but you went and visited the set and got to hang out with Tom and Jake. I mean, that's why I'm bringing that story up right now on this day, on the anniversary, because it's like, yeah, not only did I meet Tom and Ruben and had those other actors do intros for the show, not only were we lucky enough, and I'm grateful to have all of that, but then we got to go see the set and filming of the second movie. So it's like, yeah, okay, dude. Like, yes, I guess maybe some executive at Sony won't give me the time of day, but someone definitely watches my channel from Sony. Someone has to, because there have been times where I've covered stories where it's funny. Like, I'll break news, and I don't mean to. I'm not a scooper. I'm not trying to do anything like that. But I will dig and find, people who are working on this movie. I'll find actors that might be mentioned somewhere, and I'll go look at their Instagram or their IMDb or their Twitter or something like that. And I'll see them like, oh, they were in San Francisco around the time the Venom filming was. And then, oh, look, here's a picture of them like in a police uniform. So I posted that image, and the very next day after that video went up, that video only had like 110 views in 24 hours. And someone in that 120 views had to be from Sony, because they contacted that guy and they told him to take that picture off his Instagram. Or maybe he did it himself, or someone else. I don't know, but someone contact him, because the next day that picture was gone from his Instagram, because it was him in a cop uniform, basically revealing what role he played in the movie. And then basically no websites have covered it. And it's funny, I see these big YouTubers, a couple of them have like written me going, hey, is this fake or is this that? I'm like, man, if you guys would just go through my videos, you would see a bunch of breaking news for Venom movie that just never got any traction, because I'm a small channel still. But it's so funny to me that I'm like actually cracking stories, and people like just aren't even aware of, except someone at Sony must be. So that's why I just always have in the back of my head, maybe someone at Sony is watching, but I want them to see that I'm not here to like ruin anyone's fun. I'm not trying to like be a clickbaiter. I'm actually trying to do a good job. And I'm going to fail sometimes. I'm human, and I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but I do try to have a standard, and I try to meet it all the time. So I just hope that like rubs off, because I would love if they film Venom 3 in Atlanta. That's like an 8-hour drive from me, just like San Francisco was for me in LA. I will happily drive up. John said he'll come with me. I'll happily drive up to Atlanta and go to the filming of the next Venom movie, or anything like that. Like, I would absolutely do that. Like, no questions asked. Venom delayed again? No, not that I know of. Breaking news, I'm considering asking Bill Murray to play Squirrel Girl. Dude, Bill Murray as Squirrel Girl? I'd watch that. Bill Murray as Galactus. We don't know. No, there's so far no. I mean, we do know that it's not delayed. That's true. We do know that it's not delayed because they haven't announced a delay yet. But I don't know. Part of me feels like they might, but then a part of me thinks they're just trying to save on a lot of money on marketing right now, and to know for sure. So it's like, it sucks because the government, like, not to get political and stuff, but all those pieces of shit in Congress and the Senate, like I don't like either side, by the way. If you're wondering what political side I'm on, like I'm a Democrat, but I hate everybody that works in the Senate and the House and everything. So like they took a vacation instead of like helping the country that they say they speak for. They all took a vacation this week, and then they always say like, "Oh, we'll get more vaccines out." I understand that's a hard process, but they're like, "We'll get vaccines out by the end of April. We should be ready." And then like a week later, they go, "Well, maybe it's more like mid to late May." And then I think I saw a report the other day saying everyone should be okay by early June or maybe early July at the latest. And I'm like, yeah, see, the more those stories come out, the more the people at Sony will start reconsidering releasing the movie in June. So we'll see. I think it's going to come down to Black Widow. Like that's coming out in May. And I feel like if Venom doesn't get delayed between now and then, whatever happens to Black Widow will decide Venom's fate, I think. Even though they're, it's one's Disney and one's Sony, I think if Black Widow, if people still aren't going to theaters, or if Disney's forced to release it on Disney Plus and in theaters, I think that's gonna, whatever decision they make by then for Venom, they might change their decision. So it's tough, man. They're wait and seeing right now, and I know for us fans, we're just we're getting frustrated. We don't have a trailer release date. I would say, so here's the thing. Whenever you see leaks for trailers, I'm going to do like a video on this where I'm like teaching a class. I have Venom the Duck, which is Howard the Duck, as a Venom. I created a little classroom, and I have little images of Venom the Duck in two forms. And I'm going to have him teach a class on how you can find out if a trailer's fake or not, and why the movie should or shouldn't be rated R. So I'm going to make those videos. So that'll be fun. They're just going to take a lot of work. So I'll try to, and they're going to be short too. They're going to be like 1 or 2 minute videos. So I'll do the best I can, and hopefully I'll get those out to you guys, as soon as possible. Hopefully by the end of the month, I hope. I forgot to mention the Truth in Journalism Venom. Oops, sorry. Venom, that version was absolutely terrifying, and I love it. Goddamn, I watched that fan film again right now. Yeah, Joe Lynch, who made that, he was really nice. I reached out to him and asked if he would come on the show, and he says, yeah, anytime you want. But every time I reach out to him like 1 or 2 more times since then, but he is working on a lot of other stuff. I think he has a show or something coming up too. I saw on his Twitter the other day, but he's a really, really nice guy. And at some point, I'd like to have him on to talk about truth in journalism. And I think that was around the time with that title, because we watched it and reacted to it here on the show. I think around that time is when I started to button up and start creating standards, because I liked the title, Truth in Journalism. And I was like, you know what? We should, even though it's a little ironic in this case, because Eddie wasn't being truthful in some of his reporting, but I thought we would take the higher road and try to have a standard. So yeah. Yeah, it's a good fan film, though. The secret is out. It's me from Sony. They moved me to Orlando to watch you better. Yeah, you're their agent, keeping an eye on me. You're their spy. That's cool. You're a cool spy, so I like hanging out with you. Well, Sony did say they didn't want to release any movies until they get normal pretty much with theaters. I mean, that's exactly it. There was an executive, a high up executive, that said, any of our major franchises, we are not going to release no matter what during COVID. So until theaters are back to pretty much fully operational, we don't want to release movies. And he was very clear about that. We made a video on that when that happened. But like I said in the video, I don't know how much power that one guy's words have. But here's what I do know about a lot of executives who have the power to release movies or vote on them to release them. They're a lot like politicians. They're pussies. They're afraid. If they vote yes to release a movie during a month that is risky and the movie bombs, they get blamed for it, and their jobs are on the line, and people will remember that they're the ones who made those decisions and voted yes. So if one person votes no, or some big executive like that guy says no, the others will say no also. And that's just how it is. I don't mean to be mean to those people, but it's that mentality. It's a mentality based in fear. Nobody wants to lose their jobs, which I can understand. But at the same time, we're in uncharted territory, so I don't blame them for making the decisions they are. But I'm saying I'm thinking pre-COVID, they acted like pussies, like pre-COVID. Right now, they're being smart, and I understand that. But before COVID, a lot of executives just act like big babies, and they're afraid. They're like, I don't want to be the one who gets blamed. That's why whenever they do votes in Congress, they say, we want it documented. So that way you can see, and it's on record, which senators voted for what, yes or no on what. It's because they can then use that against them if they have to. And so the public can know who voted no on a bill or who voted yes on a bill. So they do it to kind of hopefully use fear to get them to vote the way they want them to vote. So that's kind of what happens in boardrooms a lot with executives. That sounds fun, though. Why does Venom 2 shouldn't be rated R? Might need to be longer, as the people who normally want that haven't actually read the comics, and so they need the information. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think the thing I have written out is pretty good. It's very concise. So we'll see, because sometimes when I record, they do become longer, but right now it's planned. It's like I think it's like a 2 to 3 minute video, and the other one is like a 1 to 2 minute video, something like that. Also, wasn't Bullseye in it? Because the guy had a bullseye in his forehead and had some top tier aim. Was Bullseye in what? What are you talking about? Oh, Truth and Journalism? Oh, I don't think so. Was there a guy with good aim? I don't remember that. The UK vaccines are rolling out, so hopefully cinemas open for the summer. Yeah, that would be good. I mean, that's the thing, is we can't just think about the US. We got to think about the world, and that's what Sony's doing too. I mean, they're a global company. So, hey, Prime, what's up? How's it going? I wonder if the Super Bowl Venom trailer was real. Why would you it wasn't. What do you mean you wonder if it was real? Did you see a trailer? No? Okay, then. It wasn't real. And actually, if you follow my channel, you knew it wasn't real before the Super Bowl, because I told everybody there's no way Sony's going to spend $5.5 million to release a 30-second trailer for Venom. It makes no sense to advertise at the Super Bowl during COVID when you're trying to save on marketing costs and stuff. And when you don't even know if your movie's coming out in June. So yeah, no, it was definitely not real. Yeah, there was no Super Bowl ad. It was all bullshit. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, it was all fake. You got played, son. In the credit scene, we saw a cut where Eddie and his film crew witnessed a murder crew with Bullseye in it. Oh, interesting. I don't remember it, so that's good eye on you. I don't remember it. Anyway, sorry, my nose is just itching, but it's because the weather's been all kind of crazy. And I'm just getting over a flu. Like on Monday and Tuesday of this past week, I had a bad flu. And it started to go away on Wednesday, so I started feeling better by Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday, I started feeling better, but I can still feel like I get like a little itch on my nose with the weather today, because it's like raining like crazy. I know some of you guys are dealing with snow, like someone in here earlier from Texas, oh God, it's so bad over there. I wish they did a buy an ad. The ads this year were horrendous. I mean, a few companies advertised at the Super Bowl, but I don't know why they did. I think they just did it out of habit. There were companies that had been advertising at the Super Bowl for like Budweiser, like for 39 years, and this was their first year they didn't advertise. So they didn't even care to have like a 40 years. Like they could have been like, nah, we're going to advertise. We'll hit our 40 years and we'll just do it. They didn't even do it. So yeah, people who would have been. Hold on. The people who would have seen PG-13 Venom will be able to see R-rated Venom by the time the delays are finished. I mean, at this point, sure. At this point, if someone was 13 when they saw Venom, they'll be 18 when Venom 2 comes out with the delays. You're right. That's a good point. And here's the thing is, I'm not saying the movie shouldn't be rated R. I think a lot of times people misunderstand me, or maybe I'm just like a little too blunt in the wrong ways. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be rated R, is my point. That's all. That's my only point, is that it doesn't have to be to tell a carnage story. That's my only point. And that's the point of my video, is that if it's rated R, great, but it doesn't have to be to tell a carnage story. I think a lot of people come in to my comments and on my Twitter feed and they're like, dude, you obviously don't know Carnage. You never read comics before, because Carnage kills people. And it's like, yeah, Carnage has 3 books Carnage has been in that were mature rated. Everything else has been rated T for teen. Even his video game was rated MA, which you're like, oh, that's mature, but it was MA-13. So it was gore, but okay enough for teenagers gore level of gore. So yeah. So that's the whole point of the video, is that it doesn't have to be rated R. Yep, I've had tons of snow though. I'm not the guy from Texas. Oh yeah, but yeah, there's snow in a lot of states. I think just me and my mom up in South Carolina. She was like, "We're the only states in this area between us and Texas in the South here that don't have snow." And I'm like, "That's crazy." Someone's protecting me and my mom right now for sure. That oat milk ad was the cringiest thing I've ever saw. I didn't even see any of the ads, to be honest with you. I saw some people saying like, "Oh, like a bunch of actors like reprised their roles that they were famous for or something to do certain ads," and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like the Super Bowl is not a big deal to me. Commercials are not a big deal to me. Like none of that stuff's a big deal to me. I don't care. I'm very much become like I'm telling you like someone was like, if you could be on one YouTube show, which would it be? I would love to be on Red Letter Media. I'm sure would not want a guy who only makes Venom videos to come on their show. They'd probably be like, no, we're good, but you have nothing interesting to say. But I really like their channel and I like their breakdowns of movies. And I try to do that here with comics, although I have not the talent they have. And I don't have their level of critical mind is like dwarfs mine big time. So like, but I admire them. I like the stuff they make, but they're very like, kind of cynical on some levels, but they're over everything. They don't give a shit. They don't like arguing with people. They're just like, whatever, I don't care. That's how I am. Like, I'm like, oh, I love that about these guys. Like, I don't care. If someone's like, well, my favorite Batman is this. Like, there was a time where I would probably argue with those people. But then after like after Man of Steel came out, I stopped getting into those arguments. And then after the 2016 election, like leading up to that, I was like, I don't want to argue with people anymore. I just want to talk to people. I like my grandfather liked talking to people and I like talking to people. And I'm like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you like, what you dislike. As long as you're not like an evil person, I want to talk to you. Like, I don't mind talking to you. I don't care anything. None of that shit matters to me. So when I see people like arguing over who their favorite Spider-Man is, I'm just like, go to keywords, mute Spider-Man, and then just see no more Spider-Man things in my thread. Because it's like, I hate it. I'm like, get fine. Like there are real things in the world. It's like, I understand comic characters are important to us. They're certainly important to me too, but there's a level, man. There's such a level. Yo, hey, what's up, Mr. Marius? How's it going? Welcome to the channel. I still remember when I scoffed at the idea at Venom movie back when they first announced it, but now Venom has become the only thing that I geek out about. That's cool, Swindle. Yeah, I remember when the movie came out, when it was coming out, there were so many people that came to my channel going, dude, why are you making this channel? Like, why are you doing a show on Venom? That movie's going to bomb big time. And I'm like, okay. And it was like a bunch of MCU people just like raining shit all over me. And then it was a bunch of Snyder Cut people going, you feel our pain now, don't you? Those MCU bastards. I'm like, well, I'm not here to pick sides. Like, I don't care. I go, I hope this movie's good because I like Tom Hardy. And then the movie, like I said, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I didn't love the movie, but I was critical of it. But there were things I genuinely liked in it. I thought it was fun. And I thought it was a good foundation to build on and hopefully do better stories moving forward. So I got into it. But now there's like Venoms everywhere. Like this is what I've always wanted with my life was this year, like two of my favorite characters, Superman and Venom. There is a Superman TV show coming on starting next week, which I will do reviews for starting soon when they start airing them. They will do, I've already seen the first 2 episodes. Well, the first episode was like a super episode. So I guess that's the one I watched. But I'm waiting for the show to come out and then I'll do a review. But there's like all kind of cool stuff. Like there's we have the Supergirl is going to be in the Flash movie, which that movie sounds like a nightmare of just jumbled story plots in one movie. But Supergirl's in it now. So I'm like, oh, I'll go see it for Supergirl. And I love the reaction that young lady had when she got cast today. They posted a video of her being cast and she was like crying and she was like really grateful and thankful for the role. And I'm like, I got into it. I was Supergirl. I love that character of Supergirl. I love the girl who plays her on the TV show, even though it's not really that great of a show, but I think she's really great as Supergirl. And this girl looks like she'll be really good too. So I like the Superman family, and we got a Superman show. We got the Snyder Cut coming out next month with a different version of Superman. We got the comic book stuff coming up that they're going to be doing where now they have a new writer. So Bendis is off the book, which I'm so happy about. And they started Future State and now it's going to go into the new monthly stuff. And there's what was the other thing? There was a couple other things. We got Supergirl stuff now. But there was another Superman and I'm blanking on it. There's the TV, the movie. Yeah, there was something else too. I can't remember. So anyway, but a lot of Superman stuff. And then Venom. There's Venom toys everywhere, Funko Pops. There's Venomized versions of everyone. Like it's just a good time to be a fan of this stuff. And when I started this channel, I had to like go back and read the old comics because there was only one comic book monthly coming out, which there still kind of is, but it's spawned off into Absolute Carnage, King in Black, all this stuff. And it's just Venom is, he's definitely a household name now. And it's great. And soon Spawn will be too. And I can finally get my Spawn show going because they finally announced that McFarlane is going to be doing the Spawn universe, which has kind of been hinted at in the books lately. I was wondering where they were going with that. And it looks like it was actually going to, like, I was reading in between the lines correctly, and they actually announced it. So I did my reaction to that news yesterday, and it was a blast. I love Spawn. So I can't wait to start doing a Spawn related show. But I would like to wait till after Venom 2 comes out, so that way I'm not overdoing everything. Because when Venom movie news starts coming back up again, I'm going to be busy making videos for you guys again. Like, and I won't be able to skip news. I'll have to make, I'll push myself to make videos on as much stuff as I can. So I'm waiting for that to happen. And then once the movie comes out and all we have to do is do like weekly box office numbers and discussions like that, then I can get into the Spawn stuff. So hopefully Venom doesn't get pushed back because that'll ruin those plans big time. Venom 3 gets anti-Venom, imagine that, or the God of the Symbiotes. I'd love that, because if they do anti-Venom, I hope they bring in Martin Lee, the Mr. Negative. I would love to see him in a Venom movie. I was 14 when the first Venom came out, and I'm going to be 18 at the end of this year, but by the time Venom 2 comes out, I won't be surprised if I died of old age. Wait, you were 14 when Venom came? When did Venom come out? 2018, right? Holy crap, that was 3 years ago. Holy crap, you're right. Dang. That's crazy. Oh my God. I was joking earlier when I was like, yeah, if you're 13, you'll probably be 18 soon. No, if you're 14, you'll be 18 by the time Venom comes out, if it gets delayed again. That's unbelievable. Kills that appear just off screen can give the same effect as seeing it happen. I mean, absolutely. You know that shot in Mortal Kombat, the new trailer, where he's like throwing the spear through people's heads, Scorpion is, and he like slams their head on the ground? Okay, you can't do that in a PG-13. But the scene right after where he stabs through someone into the wall in the dojo or into his house, and he drags it up and the blood squirts out, you could kind of get away with that in a PG-13. So you can still do things in PG-13 and make them like intense and visceral, depending on how you shoot it and how it's performed and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, we don't have to talk about that. I feel like we talk about that every stream. I just repeat myself. So I'm going to make this one video, and every time somebody asks, Venom should be rated R, I'm just going to drop a link to that video and go watch that. Just come back when you're done. It's a 2-minute video. Go watch it. What's up, Mark Anthony? Welcome back. Hello, Mr. Marius. Yes, welcome to the stream. Welcome back, Mark Anthony. Swordsman, you're a gentleman, my friend. Daniel B says, I feel an edgy R-rated sequel would be Sony's Dark Knight of the trilogy, but they wouldn't take the risk, which is the sad truth. But an edgy R-rated sequel, I don't agree. Like, what? So you want it to be edgy for the sake of being edgy, or do you want a good story? So yeah, I don't know. I would rather them, with Andy Serkis and Kelly Marcel writing the script, I would rather them focus on a good story. And if it makes sense to show gore while they're filming it and do stuff that gives them an R rating, then it needs to come naturally or be planned. But to say, oh, I want an edgy R-rated film just to make one is I don't want that at all. That's and I'm glad Sony won't do that. That's not a sad truth to me. That's smart business, in my opinion. Not seeing what Carnage does leaves up to the imagination of the viewer, and that's arguably more terrifying. It can be, depending on how you shoot it and how it's executed. It can be. It can also be cheesy and hokey and not cool at all. So to be devil's advocate, it's a coin toss. Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man. Amen to that, brother. There you go. End of argument. Swordsman, I was being sarcastic and over-exaggerated despite not. Oh, I'm so sorry. Were you? I'm so sorry, Mark Anthony. I'm so sorry, dude. If I misread you, I'm so sorry. Eddie's mullet says the only God that made Venom interesting is when Eddie has his eternal struggles with his faith. I really like that too. That's something they kind of brought into King in Black. By the way, read Daredevil. Those 2 issues with Daredevil. There's a scene with Matt Murdock and Null. Chip Zdarsky, man, he's amazing. He's amazing. Chip Zdarsky, please write Venom after you're done with Daredevil. Or actually, keep writing Daredevil. Actually, I love Daredevil right now. It's the best book at Marvel. Toby is still my favorite Spider-Man. Well, Zdarsky's about to write Venom in the Spider-Man, the What If story where Spider-Man becomes Venom. So we'll review that on the show. I hope that's a good one. Brendan says Toby is still my favorite Spider-Man, but I hate seeing people argue who's better. Yeah, who cares? Have your favorite, and that's it. It doesn't matter. Everyone takes it so personally. They're like, "What do you mean Tom Holland sucks? Like the Tom Holland's my favorite. Tobey Maguire sucks." And that's the voice I hear when these people have fights, and I'm just like, who gives a shit? Like, who gives a shit? Everyone thinks their opinion is like this, like holy grail, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're not special. We're not special. Like what's that old saying? Like assholes, everyone has an opinion. So it's not special to have an opinion. So it's like, don't put so much weight on it. Like sometimes I give my opinions and people get really pissed off, and I'm just like, it's just an opinion. Now here's the thing, and this is what I'm trying to work on. There's a way to give your opinion and just sound like, hey, this is my opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to get better at that, as opposed to making my opinion sound definitive. That is feedback I've gotten before, and I don't like that I do that. So I have tried to slim that down, because I don't like when other people do it either. So someone was like, oh, you're doing that. And I'm like, damn it. They're right. I am doing that. So I try not to just be like, this is my opinion. Boom. I try not to do that. Or if sometimes I'll, in a joking way, be like, nope, not even opinions. It's just a fact. Move on. And I'll do that for a joke, obviously. But for the most part, yeah, I try not to make it sound like my opinion is authoritative. I think that's the big thing with opinions. Sometimes people word it in a way that sounds argumentative, and so people take it as argumentative. It's a vicious cycle. But I'm trying to get better at it. Imagine Venom shows up in MCU Spider-Man 3. I don't have to imagine that. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Honestly, they shouldn't take the risk. If they do, it won't be comic accurate, and it takes Venom's chance of interacting with Spider-Man. See, that's the thing, is if you make Venom and Carnage rated R, for one movie, and then bring the Venom franchise back down to PG-13 so he can meet Spider-Man, you're lacking consistency there, and that usually doesn't happen in movies. Alien vs. Predator was PG-13, and then the second one was rated R. I do happen to think the second one's a slightly better movie, but I think it's because it has a slightly better story. Not a great story, but I really did not like the pyramid shit in the first movie, with Paul Anderson and like his whole dumb shit he did in the first movie. But there were some characters in the first movie I liked, and there were some characters in the second movie I liked. But I liked the Predator in the second one a lot more. But so they went from PG-13 to R, but that was not a financial success for them. Then there was other movies that went in the opposite direction. I think Beverly Hills Cop went was R, and then the fourth one was rated PG-13. And I can't remember if that was a hit or not, or if that's the one that the franchise, I think that's the one the franchise died on. RoboCop 3, that also happened. RoboCop 3 went to PG-13, killed the franchise. They put a kid in the movie, gave him a jetpack, it sucked ass. So like, there's not a good track record for movies that change ratings and they're successful. So to change the rating is a risk, and that's a risk they will not take, I don't feel. Yeah, for sure. A lot of people would love the Venom and Spider-Man 3. Though not much for the second part, though. I'm referring to Marvel Animation. The video game department is fine by my... Oh, okay. Oh, earlier. Oh, gotcha. Yes. I wonder if the Venom 2 merchandise will start leaking. Oh, wow, I'm way behind on comments. Let me try to catch up before we go. I got to go in like 5 minutes. I wonder if the Venom merchandise will start leaking before then again, we pretty much got nothing. Yeah, that's the thing. We got nothing for the first movie. The merchandising is different because technically it's owned by Disney. And so they're not going to make movie versions of those characters, except for the one-off we got with Venom, or in case like another company from another country works something out with them. But it's very rare that happens. And so I don't think they are worried about... So everyone was like, oh, look at these Halloween costumes. That's our first look at Carnage. I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. That's the same Halloween costume they released last year. They just put a Venom Let There Be Carnage tag on it. But it's the same costume they made last year. It's not indicative of the movie version. So it's like, I don't think they're worried about any merchandise leaking the looks of things. And since they apparently didn't make a deal with Brisk this time, we're not going to see anything through Brisk, at least right now anyways. I hope they do a Carnage flavored tea. That would be nice. Swordsman, it's agree. I shame Donnie course corrected in a very lackluster comic where Eddie falls forever. Yes, right. Yeah. Although I'm not enjoying King in Black. Everyone was going gaga over issue 4, and I'm like, I don't care. The thing at the end was kind of neat, and we'll talk about it when we do that video. But other than that, I'm like, that's not going to make me forget the 20 pages that led up to that moment, which I did not think were good, 20 pages. But the Venom book that ties into it has continued to be really good. So I hope Venom keeps being a household name for a long time. Hey, as long as we're fans of it, it will be. Absolutely. I played for the first time Last of Us, and man, I just can recommend it. I got to play that. I know I'm behind on my video games. I've been doing a lot of Res Evil stuff, though, lately, because on my other channel, I'm covering the Res Evil movie, so I've been playing some of the games, too. Yeah, Marvel Animation so far can't do Venom complete justice. The closest we've ever gotten is a 90s cartoon. The sad thing is I kind of know why, but I can't say, unfortunately. I mean, the first Venom movie advertisement leaked a little with the brisk iced tea, so you never know. I mean, that's true, yeah, but I don't know of any plans of a new drink this time, but I hope they do one. Couldn't agree more, and thank you. You're welcome. I like the friendship. Friendship, babality. I hope Venom crossover in the MCU eventually. Yeah, you don't have to hope for that. That's probably going to happen. I don't know about the MCU, but at least with Spider-Man. Yeah, Swordsman, him making Eddie an atheist is the worst thing he's done to the character. This is not a political opinion. It's only reference to destroying a foundation of the character. Yeah, because, it could have been easy for, like, Chip Zdarsky. Like, I don't know what kind of religious beliefs he has. I'm going to guess none, if I were to guess. But he does not take that away from Matt Murdock. And in fact, he gives a very faith-driven moment to Matt Murdock in the King in Black tie-in when Matt faces Null. Which is really, it was a really good moment. So I like that. To me, I feel like you shouldn't project yourself onto the characters you write. And I think so there's actors that will say, oh, like Diedrich Bader, when he played Batman on Batman Brave and the Bold, he's like, there's a line you can cross as an actor where you start believing you're really the character. And I feel like Donnie does that a lot with Eddie. He puts a little too much of himself into Eddie. And I'm like, pump the brakes on this dude, because you're not writing Eddie anymore. You're doing a power fantasy thing where you're putting yourself in Eddie's shoes, and you're having Eddie make mistakes, not because Eddie makes mistakes as a character, but because you make mistakes. And this is your way of making a character reflect you. It's like he's putting too much of himself in there. And so I don't like that. I don't like that at all. A character is a character. Characters can change, but nothing shows that Eddie has ever changed away from his faith in the comic books. So, does the film already exist? What film? Venom 2? Does Venom 2 film exist? Oh, hey, what's up, Springtrap? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's finished, but they were scoring the movie recently, and that's usually a good sign that they're nearing the end of it. But I don't know what if they need to do any other ADR, if since there's so much time has passed, if they have more ideas for it, if they want to do pickup shots, like, who knows? So, but I feel like they probably are. They've got to be pretty close to having that movie done, or at least really, I mean, maybe not done, but they got to be pretty close. Hopefully the cartoons will get a proper portrayal this decade. Hopefully we just get a Venom cartoon, and fuck it, that's what we need. Hey, Flaya, what's up, Hotspot? How's it going? Good to see you. The Venom 2 film existed, but is privated. I mean, I don't know what you're asking, and I can't answer it. Yeah, I'm sure a version of the movie has to exist somehow, because they did the score and music for the movie recently. So, or at least they hired the person to do it. So, Swordsman says 100% Eddie, though sadly Mike was the one who made Eddie atheist, which Donnie perpetuated for the longest time for no reason. If one of the few things I dislike from MCU's run. Yeah, but like you said, in the recent issues, Eddie's kind of like in King in Black has started to take leaps of faith again and trust in a higher being. And I like that. So they're coming back. Donnie brought it back. So, I know I slam that guy a lot, for his things that he does that I don't particularly like, but like I always say, the book's still selling great. It's a number one selling book at Marvel. He's helping make Venom a household name. So I'm happy he's on the book. And honestly, if he can take that rock star status over to Spawn, because he's about to write a Spawn book coming up. And of course, when I first heard the announcement, I'm like, damn, I knew he was going to, like, why are you trolling me, Donny Cage? You're writing everything and you're going to just make me review your books for the next 3 years. Like, you're going to hate my guts. But at the same time, I feel like Spawn is probably a really good fit for someone like Donnie. So I'm looking forward to actually reading his Spawn stuff, to be honest with you. Because I don't think he's a bad writer. I just think sometimes he gets in his own way. But that's my opinion, of course. And I hope it means jack shit to him. He's killing it and doing great despite my opinion of him. So he doesn't, who gives a shit what the Venom vlog thinks. I hope that's his mentality. He follows me on Twitter, which is really nice of him, but we don't really interact that much, unfortunately. But he seems like a nice guy. Mark Anthony, for reals, nobody opinions and beliefs shouldn't be put on a pedestal or the highest order. Yeah, exactly. What were you doing during the set for Venom 2? We talked about it earlier. So unfortunately, I got to go. It's almost 10 o'clock, and I usually call my mom before 10, so before she goes to bed. So and I walk my dog for one last time. So we're going to do that. So you'll have to go back and watch the video earlier, because we already talked about all that in the beginning. Yeah, it's not out yet, unfortunately, the movie. I need to reread that Costa issue. I know it's not happy with how he killed the priest. Yeah, I know. I wasn't a fan of that either, actually. We're going to cover the Costa run this season. And also, you guys, before I leave, did you guys watch the episode where I read the Black Costume Saga as like a bedtime story kind of thing with a couple of visuals from the comic books popping up? Do you like that? I'm still going to make 2 more, but would you rather me not cover the comic version and just keep that version? Or would you like me to do both? Because I think if I do both, I originally was going to break out the comic stuff like in like 10 episodes and do like 3 issues per episode. But I feel like now that I've done this version, that's helped me talk a lot about the comic book side too. And we showed off a lot of the visuals. So I think I might just do like do one big giant 1-hour episode and cover the whole Black Costume Saga for Peter Parker. Let me know if you think you're into that or not, or if you just like me doing the bedtime story books, because I know that's a different version. So I know we want to cover all versions. But I'll still do the comic book one, but I might just do it as like 1-hour video or 2 half-hour videos. Yeah, I don't think no one has seen it. I'm pretty sure no one has seen Venom. I'm pretty sure. Outside of like a room of like 4 people probably, or 10 people maybe. Well, there is a bright side for one. You as the priest isn't dead, and it leads to one of Mike's best issues. I mean, that's the thing, right? Exactly. It's still in the process of being made. Yeah, it's still being made. Venom stuff we are seeing on the shelves this past year have essentially become the merchandise for Venom 2. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I love the Venom trilogy is going to be PG-13 in general. I think it will be too, for sure. Love your work, by the way. Hey, thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate it. It means a lot, honestly. It really does. I do. I know I'm just a guy in front of a camera, and I don't have anything spectacular happening, or I'm not great with graphics or things like that. And I'm dumb when it comes to technology, and I'm learning. I'm trying to do my best, but I really do appreciate it. In fact, real quick, what do I got over here?
Calm as a bitch. This is a me thing. It is not a we thing. You got that?
Fine, but make it quick.
I just have cool little snippets. This one I like.
Ooh, you're quite the bully when you want to be, aren't you, Parker?
Bully Parker. You're quite the bully when you want to be.
What was that?
So I have some clips in here. We can do some fun stuff with those later on. Thanks for making me curious, Venom vlog. All right. Yeah, that's my job. Jesus coming down and smiting Noah would be pretty epic, though. If Jesus was yeah, right. That'd be amazing. I wonder if Eddie's religious in the movies. Maybe we'll see if that. I mean, that's okay if they don't address it too much in the movies. But in the second movie, he does go to a church. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything there, because I think there was set photos of that released and an official image that was released of him walking up the church steps. So yeah, you'll see church stuff in the next movie. Wonder if Eddie. Oh yeah. So I just did that one. Venom should have some minimum ties with some characters aside Spider-Man, like Thor. Well, I don't really care about that. I mean, that'd be fine if they did it, but I mean, to me, I don't even want Venom to meet Spider-Man. Like, I'm just one of those people. I like Venom being his own thing. Like, he's so awesome. I don't care, but I know everyone else wants him to see Spider-Man, so I'm pretty sure we're going to get a movie probably just called Venom versus Spider-Man, or Spider-Man versus Venom, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. Yeah, Donnie absolutely did that in the Abyss arc, and it was his worst arc, but the only bright spot was the introduction of Dylan. Yeah, I hated the Abyss. That was his second arc. That was such a low point. And to think he almost started with that arc, and Jason Aaron told him to flip it and start with Rex and then do Abyss. And although I like a slower build to Rex would have been better, Abyss was just the wrong way. Abyss was not a good story. It was abysmal. No lie, I would pay big money to see that. Oh, yes. If I had big money, I would spend it too. I hope so, though. It doesn't seem the case for the first movie. Yeah, I don't think, not in the first movie, but there will be something in the church in the next movie. I did. It was awesome. Oh, do both. Yeah, I'll do both. Honestly, don't remember. No. Swordsman says, I would like you to do both. Okay, I'll do. I mean, I think ultimately I was going to do both, but I just don't think I'm going to do 10 episodes of the comic version. I think I'll probably condense it to like 2, maybe 3 episodes. But I also have to talk about the Symbiote Spider-Man miniseries. If you notice, we've covered one of them already, but we didn't do the second one with Hobgoblin. I've been saving that for when we talk about the Peter Parker in the black costume, and also the King in Black stuff. We're going to cover all of the tie-ins that Cam sent us, except for the Symbiote Spider-Man, because I've been buying those on my own, but I'm going to wait till that's done, and we're going to put that into the Spider-Man black costume stuff. So I might do like maybe a week. Maybe we can do them in like 4 or 5 episodes, and we'll do like the first half of the black costume saga. Then we'll do like the Hobgoblin symbiote Spider-Man story, then the Null symbiote Spider-Man story where Mr. E comes back, which ties into Captain Universe. I almost made a video when that first issue came out on Symbiote Spider-Man #1, and I decided to wait and push it till later. And I kind of wish I did, because I actually made a note going, oh, cool, I wonder if Captain Universe will show up now, since Mr. E fought Captain Universe all those years ago. And yeah, there you go. It happened. So wish I would have made that video. It's your choice. I'm okay with that. Oh, I appreciate it. I think I'll do both, but I might just not make 10 episodes about it. I did watch the episode and it was good. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Awesome. It's Seek, one of these people in that room that saw Venom 2, he would tell us. Yeah, no, even if I saw it, I wouldn't tell you guys, but I will tell you that I definitely did not see it. I haven't seen anything, like not an image, not a nothing. But like I said, even though that guy's words when he said that to me, like Sony doesn't care about you, he's kind of right. Like Sony doesn't. Like they don't care that there's some guy out there making Venom content. They really don't. They're never going to send me a care package of like, something to promote, or, or like a Venom backpack. Like they're never going to do that stuff. And I'm not trying to get that stuff either. Like that's the thing, is like, I just like making this stuff because it's fun. I get to document the whole history of Venom. Like, look how this turned into. Like, one of my biggest inspirations to be on YouTube was Raging Nation. And I told you why before, because he has standards and he follows them. And that is what I kind of adopted. And then also because Twin Perfect, who I really don't like most of their videos, but their videos on Silent Hill I really did love, because they did this really in-depth, like 30 video breakdown of the Silent Hill series, or 20 video breakdown. I can't remember. It was a lot, but it was good. It was really good. And I'm like, man, they went through the whole history of Silent Hill, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. So that's what I wanted to do with Venom. So pretty soon this season, we're going to wrap up the Peter Parker stuff. We're going to wrap up the King in Black stuff. We're going to wrap up the Mike Costa stuff and the Space Knight stuff, probably all before the end of the season. Maybe a little bit might be left for next season, but most of it will be done. So next season, season 6 of this show, episode 751, when we start that season, we will only have movie news to talk about. We won't have any cartoons or anything else left. Hopefully there will be a Venom video game or a cartoon, because that'll help us make episodes. But we'll be caught up on pretty much everything. And we'll just, anything that comes out after that, we'll cover. But I'll also cover alternate universe Venom. So we still have that to do. So we'll do that starting next season, because there's like manga Venom, and there's a new Venom coming out this summer with like the Red Skull is Venom or something. So yeah, in Heroes Reborn. So there's other universe Venoms, and we'll cover those. All right, Flamingo, Flame Gamer, Hotspot. I'll call you Hotspot. Hotspot. I don't know where I got Flamingo from. I just saw the FL and I just went Flamingo. Flamingo's my nickname. You're Hotspot. Venom is more than just a Spider-Man villain now. He's his own character, and meeting Spidey. Yeah, meeting Spidey would be cool. You're right though. He's his own character now, and I love it. All right, you guys have a good one. Bye. Thank you so much. At least he should meet Spider-Man to absorb his powers, except his spider sense. I mean, no, he does have his spider sense, and he's able to block it out. So that's kind of the thing. I mean, yeah, he doesn't really sense danger. I guess you're right. He doesn't have spider sense, but he can block Spider-Man's spider sense, which is kind of neat. We can have slightly different opinions. Will you watch the Snyder Cut? Oh, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I don't know if you watch. Me and my friend Alex, we do a DC show now every Thursday on this channel, where we watch DC animated movies live, and we talk about DC stuff. And we did a full breakdown of the Snyder Cut last night we watched Batman Ninja last night, and then after it ended, we talked for like 30 minutes about the Snyder Cut. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, but I am intrigued. I really am intrigued. So I will watch the Snyder Cut. Absolutely. We can, I'll watch it. Got home from work. Let me guess. End of stream. It is the end of the stream. Sorry, VCX. Did you replay the Symbiotes 2 yet? No, I did not. The reason being is because Cam didn't send it to me. I thought it was in my things, like my stuff he sent me recently, but the stuff he sent me was from 2 weeks ago. So I don't have it yet. So I can't read it. I'm sorry, Eddie. I know Eddie's like dying for me to talk to him about something in that book, but sorry, Eddie, you're gonna have to wait. Yes, best case scenario, Spider-Man mistakes Venom for Carnage and is fooled by Mysterio's scam. They fight and team up. There you go. There you go. Now Captain Universe is anti-null. Talk about a retcon. Yes. I mentioned anti-null before. So yeah, that's funny. Oh God, why? Makes me wonder why if the Light Force is now connected. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk more about King and Black 4 when we do that stream. That's the coolest, most likely reason for them to encounter each other. Yeah, it's true. Have you read Minimum Carnage? Yes, we're going to cover that on the show this season. But I've read it before because that Scarlet Spider book is one of the best Marvel books in the last 10 years by Chris Yost. It's amazing. As long as we get an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 316 cover, that'll make you happy. Nice. All right. Sorry if I spoiled big. That's all right. We're not talking about that issue. No, just wasn't interested in Minimum Carnage. VCX says, if Null's related to Dark Force, does that have an impact on Darkhawk? Wasn't his gem grown in the Dark Force? Ooh, maybe. I'm not looking for Heroes Reborn. No, nobody is. I don't think anyway. Seriously, the whole concept is stupid. I agree. I think it's dumb as well. Heroes Reborn looks good as the first. It looks as good as the first Heroes Reborn. Turd. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It looks dumb. Glad I'm not too invested in that. Yeah, don't worry about that. Accurate. Is the movie pushed back again? Sorry, just got here. No. I mean, no, it's not. As far as I know, it's not. I don't know. As you read Darkhawk, okay, basically Donnie built upon a retcon, made it that issue. Basically, the symbiotes were at war with the Enigma Force. Yeah, pretty much. But we're not talking about that. Don't spoil more. We will talk more about King and Black when Venom 34 comes out. Then I will cover those two issues together. But between now and then, which is I think like 2 Wednesdays from now, is when we'll get Venom number 34, or maybe 1 Wednesday. I don't remember. But between now and then, I'll try to get some King and Black tie-in issues out to you guys. So yeah, we'll talk about all that then. Why do you think we haven't seen a trailer yet? You got to go back and watch my episode, dude. Sorry, I'm ending the stream now. Sorry, it's end of the day for me. I've had a very long day, and I got an even longer day tomorrow. So I got to go. On a side note, I have to not saw Venom in any Heroes Reborn promos. He's in there. He's called Black Skull or something stupid like that. It's Venom on top of Red Skull. So yeah. I'm sorry, Puzzle. We talked about it earlier, and you'll have to go back and watch that because I got to go. Can't wait for I was on the set of Venom 2 years ago and bye. Yeah. Well, hey, we've been here for an hour and a half. That's 30 minutes longer than I thought it was going to be. So we talked about being on the Venom set. So you mean next year? I was on the Venom 2 set 2 years ago. That is going to be my video next year on February 19th. Be on the lookout if the movie gets delayed again. Because Sony doesn't know if they're going to push the movie or we don't know yet. Yeah, Red Skull is Venom, exactly. Take care, everyone. Take care. Oh, dear Lord, I got to go. Thank you guys so much. I will see you all in the future. We